Do you know what all wrestlers love? Television time. Because the more television time you have, the more over you're probably going to be, and the more over you are, the more cash is going to go into your pocket. Maybe. The truth of the matter is though, no matter what promotion you are in, there are going to be some people going, please sir, can I have some more? And that is what we're going to talk about today. Because hello, my name is Simon from What Culture. Please hit the subscribe button. Please ignore my very, very wounded throat. And this is 10 AEW stars that desperately need more TV time. Number 10, Ruby Soho. While Ruby Soho has been a constant presence on the likes of AEW Dark and AEW Elevation, I think sooner or later she should be shoved back in the direction of AEW Dynamite. She came in with such a bang and had such a wonderful reaction before she did take on Britt Baker for the AEW World Championship. And as soon as she lost, she kind of disappeared. And I do get it because you need to rotate the roster, but now that Baker is no longer the champion, surely we can cycle back round to this at a given point. Especially because when she did debut, she was just so damn happy, and that goes a long way. Number 9, Scorpio Sky. As of me talking, Scorpio Sky is still the TNT champion. This is a good thing. This guy has been consistently good ever since AEW was born into this world, and it kind of feels like all of this is about to pay off. It just needs a bit more TV time. And to be fair, he does pop up on our screens a lot, but even now when he does have gold around his waist, it's usually Dan Lambert doing the talking for him. Now don't get me wrong, Dan Lambert's very good at this, but I know Scorps can speak. I've heard him do it. I really do hope he gets a proper feud eventually that he can sink his teeth into too. And while I really do like his tag team with Ethan Page and I don't want to break them up, at the moment, he should be walking the path of a single star. Number 8, Colt Cabana. There are a few wrestlers that can always light up your heart when they get into the ring. Colt Cabana is one of such people. The man just knows how to add entertainment into his matches, and he is genuinely funny. And I get it, I understand. If you don't like comedy wrestling, this will go over your head. But if you do, you can pretty much pick anything that Colt has ever done, and eventually you'll go, that was good. Coming into the promotion in 2020 and swiftly joining the Dark Order, he has had matches against the like of Bryan Danielson, but his time on Dynamite has most definitely been limited. I mean, he's so busy, I'm sure he's just happy to add an extra string to his bow, but given that he has more than 20 years plus experience, well, I just think there's something we can do with that. Number 7, Jake Hager. When Jake Hager debuted in AEW, he had a lot to prove. I mean, he was coming from the WWE where he had been the misused Jack Swagger, but realigning himself with Chris Jericho, who is a proper friend of his, well, I don't think we could have done much better than that. Hager is also a proper big huss wrestler too, as we've seen when he tangles with the likes of Wardlow, and he has absolutely perfected the art of less being more. And while that does directly tie into what this video is all about, we can absolutely find more uses for them. He's a unit that can go. I mean, just go and watch any of the tag team matches he has had alongside Chris Jericho, and I would suggest the majority of these are underrated. And if he did start to be featured more, I don't think he's going to outstay his welcome. I mean, not that he minds, I bet. I mean, he's a wrestler, he's an MMA fighter, he'd do it all. Number 6, Dustin Rhodes. How does Dustin Rhodes keep doing it? I mean, here is a man that is north of 50, and if you want to come up here into my house and say, Simon, I think Dustin Rhodes is better now than he ever has done, I may agree with you. And given that he is in the twilight of his career, I don't think he needs to be going after a world title or anything, but the man is always just good to go. I mean, take recently when we needed a substitute to take on Sammy Guevara, Dustin Rhodes did it, and he smashed it. And all of this means that he is a legend that can absorb a lot of losses, and when you are in that position, you can absolutely once again work with the younger guys and ensure that they get over. Dustin has already done a lot of that too, but I tell you, if we just gave one of them a proper story and let it play out, I think the results would blow our brains. Number 5, Red Velvet. Another individual who seemingly will just pop up on Dynamite out of nowhere. The best thing about Red Velvet is ever since she debuted in AEW, we have basically witnessed her pro wrestling journey. She gets better and better every single week. She has also had some serious roles up to this point as well, given that she teamed with Cody Rhodes to take on Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill. And I really enjoyed that program between her, Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander. I thought it was fun. If Red can be worked into a bigger program though, I think it will benefit her no end. And look, she doesn't even need to win at this stage. She just needs a high-profile feud so she can establish herself a little bit more. But I do totally believe this will happen eventually. AEW seems pretty damn high on her. As they should. Number 4, Private Party. Private Party are awesome. I mean, when they started in AEW, they were quintessential good guys, but now they are mega asshole heels, and it doesn't matter what they do, I enjoy both sides. I mean, this all happened too when they turned on Matt Hardy, but given that they had a relationship with him, and now they have a relationship with Andrade, they do turn up on TV a lot, but often these days, it's just a little bit like their sidekicks. It also means a lot of their best matches are happening on Dark and Elevation, which is why sometimes they're just magically in line for a title shot. What I'm essentially saying to you is I want to see more of their bouts on Dynamite. And of course, all of this is better than disappearing entirely, which sometimes does happen, and mark my words, and mark them right now, the future is so bright for these two. They're gonna do great. Number 3, Miro. What the flub is going on with Miro? After nursing an injury, the rumors are he is good to go, and you know he's still on good terms with AEW, because the last piece of news that came out there is that they have extended their deal. Here's the thing though, he is the best, be it his matches or his TNT title run. Everything he touches turns to gold. And I'm just going to be honest with you, here right now in April 2022, I miss it. He will now pop up before this video goes live, which is always the way, but he hasn't actually stepped foot into All Elite Wrestling since November 2021, and my heart can't take it anymore. I mean, there are just so many feuds waiting for him now, especially because the roster has got bigger and bigger, so let's make him the world champion and just have him on television every single time. Number 2, Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara is featured a lot. I think this is true. It's just when it comes to the television time he is getting, well, I think he may be a little bit miscast. Because ever since AEW decided to team him up with Ty Conte, it just seems like all the fans want to boo him. And if that is the case, he should just turn bad guy, because the last thing we need is yet another disconnect between the fans and a wrestler. And don't come up in here and be like, oh man, we can't turn him heel because he flies around in the ring. Everybody flies around the ring in 2022. It's not even an issue. This also ties into the fact that he has just lost the TNT champion, so we can use that as a catalyst. But yeah, Sammy Guevara eventually really does need to be a villain again. I just think he plays it so much better. Number 1, Hangman Adam Page. An interesting one this, because of course at the moment Hangman Adam Page is the AEW World Champion and is on television every single week. He has also become the man when it comes to maximizing his minutes. But there's just a teeny caveat to all of this. Because when you compare him to the men that preceded him, Chris Jericho, John Moxley and Kenny Omega, they were always propping up the whole program. Whereas when it comes to the Hangman, he is kind of just filling up a little bit. I mean, sometimes he's not even in the main event angle, and while this isn't a problem because it allows him to develop into the role, eventually we are going to have to place this pressure on top of his shoulders so everybody can start seeing him in the same way we saw those people that just came out of my mouth. It does likely make more sense to do it this way because otherwise you run the risk of shoving him down people's throats, and we know how that goes in the wrestling world. But if you do want to turn Hangman Adam Page into a truly top main eventer, well, I've just underlined all the things that you're probably going to need to do. Know of any other AEW stars that need more TV time? Make sure you let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Then head over to whatculture.com where you can read articles like this. You can also follow us on social media on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE, or I'm at SimonMiller316, and we have more videos. Please watch one, because it will make me feel better about my voice, which honestly is on the verge of going. My name is Simon from What Culture though. Thank you for watching me as always. See you soon.